So right now, if I go here and I double click in my headers, see, this is header section 2, this is footer section 1, so we have different sections. We can format, we can do page sizes, page formats, you can change the margins within sections independently of the other ones, and especially you can also have headers and footers independent of the previous one. So now that we're in our header, we go up here in the contextual bar, we see that it says we're in the header and footer menu. Now one thing we want to make sure is that in this case we're going to have the same header and footer for the whole section. So we unclick different first page because we don't want it to be, we want all the pages in the section to be the same. And also here where it says link to previous, we break that link because there is no previous and we don't want to link to something that isn't there. So now in my header, my requirement is that we have the name of the section of the document that we're in the top of the page. Now, things about headers is that whatever you put in the header in one page, it will flow through to the next page as long as you're within the same section. So what we want to do is have abstract appear here in the top of the page where abstract is, but then when you have other sections, we want to have, like implementing the contract, we want to have that on the top of the page instead of abstract. So we don't type it in, because if we type it in, we'd have to change it for each page, and then if we reformatted the document and pages changed, then it wouldn't be accurate. So we're going to go back to our quick parts. We're going to put a code in. We're going to go field. And remember how our table of contents was set up to read heading 1. So we're going to go to what's called style reference, where it says style ref. Okay, and remember heading 1? Click on that. So we are going to want to tell it to use heading 1 as the style reference. Okay, and what this style reference does is it looks down the page, and the first time it sees heading 1, it puts it up in the header. So if I go OK here now, see now my header now says abstract. Okay, and if I go to the next page, it's now implementing for sustainability because that's what's at the top of that page, and so forth. So that's a very powerful tool that we can use in order to let people know where we are in the document. Now the next thing we want to do is tell people what page you're on and how many pages there are in the document. So then we're next to the abstract, we hit tab, and you can get this tab mark, and you can see here on the ruler that we have what's called the centered tab. Now if you don't have the ruler, you can go to your view command, and in the show command, in the show, you can toggle the ruler on and off. Like right now we can't see it. I click on it, we can see it. Okay, so we go to the center of the header and we type page. Okay, and we go back to our header and footer menu, and we can put in page number in quick parts, right? Or when document number, we can go here to our fields, which is another way of getting the quick parts. And now we want page. We want to know what page that is. So again, we'll leave the defaults. We say OK. So now this is telling me this is page 0. I don't really want to start on page 0, I don't think. I really would like to start on page 1. So I double click on that 0, right, until it's highlighted. And I can right click on it and go to format page number, and for some reason this setup decides that we're going to start at page 0, but what I want to do is start at page 1. Say OK, that's page 1, and then I put my cursor after the 1, do a space, I type of, another space, and now I go to my quick parts, to my fields, and this time I want not page, but I want to count the number of pages. So there is a command called numPages. We say OK. So right now we have 7 pages. Well, that will change as we go along, and the nice thing about this is as we add, delete pages, it will automatically recalculate that, so we don't have to, every time the document changes, we don't have to go back and renumber all our pages. Right? Then we give it one more tab, and now you can see this is a right tab, and by our model we want to put in the logo again. We want to have that logo in the header. So now we're familiar with that. We insert our picture from the device, pick up the logo, insert. Now, of course, that doesn't look very good because it's way too big. So all we have to do is just resize it, pick on it. You want to pick the corners because that way it scales proportionally. If I pick up the side and go like this, it distorts the aspect ratio of the graphic, and we don't want to do that. So we just go back to where we were, make that smaller, and there we go. The only other thing we need to do in our header now is insert a line. So we go to our insert command, and we pick up shapes, and it gives us a line. Click on the line. We just put it on, click our cursor under abstract, hold down the shift key so that we can only draw a horizontal line or vertical line. So don't have to worry about getting it straight. And we just draw it to the width of the margins. We let it go. And there's our line. And we don't, and now we can, if we want, change the color. So we can make a green line instead of a blue line. Okay. And then to get out of the header, we'll go back to the header and footer menu and say close header and footer. So now on our header we have the section name, we have page number, number of pages, and we have the logo.